Hey there, Kyrill. Let's take a look at your new set of essays. Here we've got problems with pollution, the reason for it, and how it can be solved. Let's see what you said. Nowadays, the pollution issues in big cities. Careful. Look at this. When you have a word like nowadays, anytime you have a time marker in general, nowadays is one of those time markers, you're basically committing yourself to using a particular tense, okay? So you can't use the past simple with nowadays. If you're not really familiar with which time markers go with which tenses, then I encourage you to look it up in a good grammar resource to get a little more information about this. All right, so let's try it again. Nowadays, pollution issues in the big cities have become ever more prevalent. I believe that society should take it seriously and action steps must be taken in order to prevent further environmental catastrophe. This essay will analyze this issue. Okay, using examples from the UK government, Oxford University to demonstrate points and prove arguments. Okay, it's fine, but there's one thing that I see as a problem here. You said, let's say, you said that it's a problem. You said that action steps should be taken, but you didn't tell us really anything after that. So you just have to address the fact, if you don't want to go into too many details, you have to address the fact that there are a variety of reasons for this. Okay? So I would have gotten rid of this sentence, okay? I would have changed this completely around, and I would have preferred something else. So I don't know what you decided would be the reasons why, but you could say that if you want to be super general, you could just say that there are numerous reasons behind why this is happening. However, with the help from the government and citizens, this can be solved. Okay, so that's one way you can do it, but you do essentially need to address that you understand that you have to talk about the reasons and you have to talk about the solutions. Okay, so this sentence for me should have been rewritten in order to address the reasons and the solutions. Okay, let's move on. Hold on, there we go. On the one hand, there is ample evidence that pollution has become, not becomes, has become the #1 issue for large cities, get rid of the, in the 21st century. The central reason behind this is twofold. Firstly, a number of personal vehicles, not a number, but the number of personal vehicles is growing every year, making carbon emissions, especially during peak hours, the biggest environmental for the metropolitan cities. Secondly, waste disposal and segregation. No, segregation is the wrong word. You want something totally different here. Are not done in the proper way. For example, recent empirical research by the UK government demonstrated that 60% of citizens do not separate rubbish at home. Okay, how is that a problem? Why is it a problem? It must not be forgotten that waste recycling is important, otherwise it may lead to serious consequences for the soil. Okay, therefore it is conclusively clear that action steps should be taken in order to lower pollution in the big cities. All right, so you're saying that waste and cars, carbon emissions, are the big problem. All right. On the other hand, although there is a case for pollution, carbon emission, no, you know what, I understand that you were tempted to use this kind of linker for this type of essay, but I think something else would have really done a better job. Just make it simpler. You could have said something like, despite the aforementioned problems, there are solutions available. That's all, okay? Let's see, because it just, I like this, although there is a case for it, etc., I like it, but I don't really know if I like it in this particular context, okay? Let's see. This is largely because local authorities could invent rules and regulations for people to follow and therefore protect the environment. For example, an extensive study by Oxford University showed that when the city of Belfast introduced free public transport for a month, the number of vehicles on the road dropped by 30%, and there was 50% improvement in air quality. Okay, thus it is possible to state beyond doubt that when the government provides free transportation, the air quality improves in the city. Great, but what about your other problem about the separation of rubbish? Okay, it would have been nice if you had also provided some sort of a solution for that. Let's see. I would have simplified this, as I already said before. I would have had a simpler sentence, essentially, and then I would have gone with this. I thought it was okay. But then I would have also given some sort of a solution for this problem of rubbish separation. Let's see. From the arguments and examples given, I firmly believe that the sooner the government introduces rules to the public to follow and supplies needed for it in order to lower pollution, get rid of the faster citizens can start following them and therefore improve the environment and air quality. In the future, it is predicted that more countries will aim to lower the pollution as much as possible. Okay. So on the whole, I thought this was good. I still thought that there were a couple of areas that you needed to kind of fix a little bit. We talked about them. Other than that, I thought you did fine. Okay, it was an appropriately developed essay in many, many ways. And I didn't really have any areas that I didn't really understand or anything. So it was, on the whole, good. Okay, just keep in mind some of those things that I mentioned as far as, your linkers are concerned and your development. Okay? All right, so let's go to your task 1. Hold on. There we go. All right, you want to apply for a summer job. So let's see what you said. Dear Sir Madam, I'm writing in response to the advert for an ocean lifeguard in Jobs Plus newspaper dated this. My name is Kyrill and I am an exchange student from Russia. Currently, careful, comma, I am. This is exactly what I was telling you in the beginning of your essay. Currently is a time marker that is usually used with the present continuous, okay? So again, if you're not really familiar with these, look them up in a good, online you can look them up too. Just write, time markers, tenses, and then you'll see usually what goes with what. So currently, I am looking for a summer job in the city of Myrtle Beach. I found the lifeguard position perfectly fit for my summer break dates as well as work requirements, which are written in the advert. For the last couple of years, I worked as a lifeguard in the neighborhood state of Georgia, and not only had I stayed... Hold on a second. There we go. Not only had I stayed at the station and watched the water, but rented chairs and umbrellas. Okay, no, but rented chairs, but the rented chairs, I guess. Maybe this is not what you mean here. Let's change it. But renting chairs and umbrellas was my secondary responsibility. Also, every week we had surf school where we mastered, I don't know what this means, and swimming skills. I was fascinated by this job last year and cannot wait for summer season to start. Please find my recent swimming certificate attached below. I look forward to hearing back from you. Okay, let's see, yours faithfully. All right, that's fine, Kyrill. It's fine. I mean, I don't know. I wasn't familiar with this word. Perhaps it's a swimming related word, which is why I don't know it. Or maybe you meant something else. I'm not really sure. But I was pretty happy with this. Little grammatical things, little things throughout. But on the whole, well done. I mean, no major problems there. Okay. Let's see. One thing that I want you to be careful about is your paragraphing. Paragraphing isn't super important in task 1, but it can make the difference between a good score and a very good score. So do make those paragraph breaks clear, just like you did in your task 2. Leave a full line between your paragraphs. I thought it was pretty clear that this is where one started and then this was where one started, but make them clear by leaving a full line. Careful with those time markers. If you have any questions about those, please let me know. And so that's pretty much it. Let's see what you write in your next set. I'll be waiting, okay? So good luck.